mean, so for us to try to influence that, I mean, that's not who we are, that's not what we do. We've never done that in Woodstock, but, you know, I mean, yeah, well, that's supporters to the mouth, but we don't, you know.
What's the closest to the property line that you guys built the show?
Well, that was up in Freedom, and I believe it was, trying to think of the name. Where did I buy the property from? But it was like 1,600 feet. You know, it's just, which, I mean, it's just insane. You couldn't.
That's for the property line?
No, yeah.
Not to the building?
Yeah, well, yeah, like for sound monitor, you know, the rule is that you go no closer than 25 feet to the house, and no further than 500 feet, unless the property line is less than 500, then it's to the property. So,
Okay, could you say that again?
yeah, it's kind of, let's say you have, your land that butts on me, all right? I have to be at 42 decibels, right? 500 feet from your home, all right? Let's say that you own a piece of property near my wind farm, and you only add 400 feet from your house to the property line. Well, then I would have to go to the property line, not the 500 feet. So I wouldn't have to go past your property line by 100 feet under mine to, you know, get the sound measurements. So it's to the property line unless it's greater than 500 feet, then it's 500 feet.
Yeah, I got a couple of questions, they're just general, more your opinion or basic knowledge. Do you know of any, well, let me ask this one first. Do you mind telling us what you heat your own buildings here in the wintertime and you go stop in Freedom? What source of energy you get? Okay. And do you know of any electric power plants in Maine that have been shut down or curtailed because of electricity produced by wind power in the state?
Shut down, I don't know. I know that when I look at, and there's a great app for anyone that has an iPhone or a smartphone, it's called ISO to go.
Yeah.
And that gives you real time, what type of power they're using, where the power's, you know, how much is renewable, of the renewable, how much is biomass, how much is, and, you know, what you'll see is that oil and coal are being displaced by natural gas and renewable energy. So, but I don't specifically know of, I know that there's a coal plant in Massachusetts that's closing. You know, so.
That's not the Maine. So.
No, but, you know, Maine doesn't get all its power from Maine. It's a grid system where all the states in New England.
Right, I know.
Yes.
But, I mean, the wind farms are being built in Maine.
Well, correct. But I'm sure there's things being built in Massachusetts that help in Maine also.
I guess I really don't have anything else. I think there was some other questions that were discussed. I don't know when they were.
You know what,
We'll get the list and we'll definitely.
yeah, here we call it, please, if, you know, if you get those other questions, just email them to me, and
We'll go over the list that we have.
And I'd also like to offer, I know I'd probably have to do it twice because I wouldn't want a quorum to be present, but, you know, to invite you anytime you want to, you know, go with me and take a drive over to Woodstock.
That was
mentioned.
That was discussed. That's okay.
No, I mean, I would love to do that. We just did that with about 7 legislators from the Energy Committee last Friday. You know, so I would throw the offer out there that, you know, if that's something that you'd be interested in doing, I could take you down to Concord Pond. I could, you know, show you distances from people's houses, take you over to Shag Pond. take you up to the room, show you how we, the computer shows up the wind speed, so you can see what the wind speed is for that day. And, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, can you,
Yeah,
actually, I'm moving, so you can move over if you want.
Yeah.
I can't leave in front of one of the,
all right. I'll just throw that offer out there, and then, and that goes to anybody else.
I'm sure we're trying to do that sometime.
Yeah, we have to do that.
Let's do it before the snow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
forward. Yeah, we may do trying to do that. Yeah.
But I mean, then we have the snowcat, so I mean, we could always take that in the snowcat.
Well, you're all set, you know.
Didn't we, we were discussing hours per year of shelter. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember how we had that.
We're on, how 30 came about.
Yeah, that's a DEP thing, you're not allowed to have over 30.
We see 30 in a lot of documents that we read and stuff, and so.
Yeah, and as I've said, I mean, we have houses that are just a little over a half a mile in camps up on Eagle's Nest and Shag Pond, and they don't get flooded. Now, every project is different, that's why you have to have the experts do the flicker study, and then the DEP looks at it as experts look at it. And if we ever get to that point here, I mean, all that becomes public information. So, and those are things that we as a developer need to look at it and say, do we really want to do this? Because along with that comes a lot of headaches, and with the headaches comes a lot of money, and, and the one thing you can't be is a bad developer, because, no one else will ever want you around. So, but, unfortunately, we're not at that point here in Dixfield, and,
We're all set then.
okay, and I will get back to you on the definition of the wind credits. I'm only familiar with the production tax credit, but I'm not a financial guy. And that's, where whatever you produce, you get a certain amount of money, the energy that you
You had
get.
the other thing you were gonna look.
Yes,
Yeah,
Parasitic power. Yep.
Perfect. Now, we'll be getting in contact with you, if you would be interested in knowing.
Yep, and as I said,
As soon as we can, probably, the sooner, I mean,
Some of the,
yeah.
we're gonna run on wires when it's warm.
Now,
Well, no, I mean, it's better now because the wind, remember, wind speeds are lower in the summer, so you get a much better idea, and especially noise because the leaves are off the trees.
How much lead time do you need if we, for the take us, is it something we can call you, I mean, how, if we gave you a call, like say, the night before and said, we come over.
Well, if you call me on a Sunday and say, look, we want to go out on a Sunday, I can, come up on Sunday, because I'm normally here, sometimes Sunday, Monday, and I go home on Tuesdays, then I'm back up Thursdays, and I go home on Fridays. But, then I'm also sometimes during the weekend. But Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Fridays would be, a bad day.
Well, the only reason I ask that is because, if we give you a lot of lead time, then even though no one's saying you would, I'm certainly not saying you would, but there's that tendency to say, well, they knew you were coming, they did this, so I would rather have it be, almost, just call you up and say, and so there is no lead time to them. And, lead time, not an appreciable amount, so
Yeah, but I could,
that can happen.
don't get me wrong, I could take you up and show you the computer that shows, what the...
And I'm not, I'm just saying, there's a lot of emotion with this, and I want to make sure that we protect ourselves from being in a position where we're accused of either way, you know what I'm saying?
Well, then, why don't we do this, okay? If you give me, like, why don't we say anytime in the first week of December? Okay, I won't be up here, but I'm sure you guys know Diamond will follow. All right?
I know what
Diamond works over. All right? I will tell Diamond to be around, because you just may show up one day and want to take a ride up the mountain and hear what's going on. Because Diamond and Mike are always there. I'll tell them to make sure they're there that week. And then, you know, members of the planning board, you know, are just going to show up one day and take them up the mountain, take them up, show them, you know, what's going on, and if it happens to be the day that I'm here, which it's that week, my wife's going to be away, so I'll be home until that Thursday. But, you know, no, I mean, people are up, so.
And if we do decide to go on the way up, we'll give you a call.
Yeah, give me a call, and I'll get in touch with Diamond and say, look, you know,
What I would probably do is I would probably that day email you a list of the names going, so that way there, you can say, this is who should be there, that way there can be no saying that, oh, it's not so-and-so, you know.
But anyone, you know, anyone can go up, anyone can, you know, we encourage it.
Okay.
For people. So, I mean, we had an open house this year, we had over 300 people there. You know, our snowmobile rides, you know, 150 machines, 100 machines, 150 people. You know, the ATV rides, you know, I think we did like 90 ATVs, you know, this year. I mean, you know, but for something like this, just to make sure, I would get in touch with Diamond and say, look, for this week, expect a phone call between, you know, 8 and 2.
Yeah, oh, you're gonna come.
Yeah, you call me and I'll get with you. I can just say, look, you know, they're on the way up, and, you know, just don't bring a quorum, because it'll be a real meeting, and then I'll get in trouble for having a planning meeting at night.
Well, the more than three of us will be.
Yeah, that's right.
That'll create a problem.
Hey, let's catch a cold, and then hold you responsible.
Hey, I have issues.
And we're planning on when.
Yeah, well, there we go. That was good. Thank you. That was good.
Wish we could have had that. But I think, I'll be honest with you, I think we covered a lot of the strikers that we had, what we're looking at. What else they will?
No, I don't think it had a lot, but it was quite a bit out of the list. Yeah, I remember asking if he was sick when we made the list. I'm very surprised he didn't show up.
I can give you Diamond's number if you have any, he's a good friend of mine.
So, times have been cheap.
I got about 20, 29.
So we were
Come over now.
about shadow.
Last we were, that's why I asked that question, in case we wanted to go any further with that on the hours. We already got
I think ours isn't bad, it was just the 30, at least we researched it and found out that that's the...
And that's pretty much it.
The 30 was the typical.
Yeah, just about every other subject.
Yeah.
You recognize it all?
Yeah, I can, say, yeah, because, I mean, we just felt like we wanted, yeah, go ahead.
Can I?
Yeah,
Say some things?
Yeah.
I just wondered how I could approach you guys with.
Yes.
These are what I got out of it. He didn't tell you about the long hotline, and he gave you all this people wood stuff.
We know about
We know, there was no point of...
No, I do, I'm just saying what I know.
We didn't want to be in the front row. We
No,
just wanted to get information.
I don't want to confront him either. But you've heard about the hotline being the wrong hotline, and then immediate when it went on, Mr. Pickett. So these people that had complaints got snowballed for months until Bob Elliott. Tried.
All Elliott's been here, so we
But until he did that, the complaints just got left in thin air, nothing was being done, okay? And then when they didn't have the testing equipment, they told you about the mice eating the wires, and then nobody checked the equipment for 2 weeks. Okay, so I'm saying they're kind of not responsible.
We gotta get that.
Alright. And then it's like, until you know how loud it's gonna be until it's built. And so they were gonna go back to the hotline.